Bill Williams, sitting in for John Wallace, who's still out of commission. We are doing What's Going On, program about all kinds of events and things that are happening around the area. And we've got the pleasure this morning to speak with a couple of guys that have put together a new band. They call themselves Metaverse. We're speaking this morning with Sean Delaney and Vinny Velez. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us, definitely.
Sorry I got you up this early in the morning, but we're happy to have you here with us. Hey, before we get into your band, let's find out a little bit about you guys. Sean, I'm guessing, are you a lifer here? You grew up all around this area?
I am. I was born and raised in Hudson. My grandfather was the mayor and city treasurer at one point. So my father was the commissioner for the fire department. A lot of family. My cousin was a police officer. So big family movement here in Hudson.
So you go way back then, huh?
Absolutely.
And you went to Hudson High School and all stuff like that?
Hudson High School, Columbia Green College. And after that, kind of just soared with my entrepreneurial spirit.
Gotcha. What got you interested in doing what you're doing?
Well, I started writing lyrics probably. I was around 12 years old when I started really getting into English class and started writing lyrics and poetry that turned into hip hop songs. And then Hudson was a big hip hop town back in early 90s, 91, 92 especially, and really it was all about listening to what was really good out there. So the hip hop scene was huge here, and I fell in love with it.
So did it like when I first got interested in radio, I quote did radio in my bedroom, that kind of thing. Did you kind of do that yourself? And
I did. As a teenager, my parents stuffed me up in the attic, and I had my own apartment up there almost, pretty much.
Very cool.
Yeah, and I used that as a sanctuary, and just I still have shoe boxes full of lyrics when I was that age, around 11 years old. I kept every one of them.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, on to Vinny. Tell us about you.
Yeah, I'm also a local lifer, born in the city but raised in Germantown.
Okay.
And so went to school there, and sometime around, I think it was 14 or 15, I didn't know one band that existed, never listened to one song or anything. I was just a kid that kept to myself, and I did sports. But I remember my first record, I picked up Nirvana's Nevermind.
Okay, yeah.
And it just exploded in my head, and I was just like, oh my God, this is amazing. I was a drummer. I was in the school band drumming at the time.
Gotcha.
So right away found the only guy in town. He was awesome. This guy Faye Johnson. Him and I, we started a two-man band. We didn't have a singer, so I just started screaming my head off. We did punk rock.
Okay, yeah.
And like Sean, notebooks full of lyrics. Taught myself guitar, taught myself bass, taught myself keyboard, and I needed to be a songwriter. So got myself a Tascam 8-track.
Yeah.
And made mixtapes. And forced my friends to listen. Eventually one of those got in the hands of a Sony A&R Scout. I got some great feedback.
Okay.
Along the years, I've done the grind. I've played in clubs. I've played beautiful places like the Egg in Albany.
Yeah.
And dark, dank punk rock clubs, down in the city. And I've loved it all. And so it's kind of coming full circle. And I'm re-energized writing with Sean with this hip hop thing, and obviously I come from a rock background, and it's been great for me. Yeah.
All right, so we both know how you guys got into this. How did you guys get together?
Yeah.
I mean, the stories are so similar, but different at the same time, because I come from the hip hop era, he comes from the rock era. And we both have our own businesses outside of this. He owns his own business, antique business, and I own my clothing company, Sincerely Dedicated. So just very entrepreneurial spirits with a lot of passion, and just ready to take over and figure out how we're going to do so. So basically we just met through a connection, and I heard something that he had sent me, and I just fell in love with it. And
Okay.
and I said, yeah, and I'd love to try to work on something with you. And once we heard what we came together with, the chemistry was so intense, we just couldn't help it. And I said, man, this is something different.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I didn't know if maybe one of you saw somebody else performing somewhere, you know, if that was how.
Well, I had heard of Sean through a mutual friend, Tim Coons, and I had played in a band with Tim Coons. Actually, it was a great name of a band. We were called Your Mother. And yeah.
Okay.
And so we were rock, and we played all the grungy clubs, and we played grunge bills and stuff like that. We toured and did some stuff, but you know, he turned me on to Sean's stuff, and I was kind of an instant fan because I saw how sincere, and his company is sincerely dedicated. Is true.
Gotcha.
He was legit. You know, this
Yeah.
was no his lyrics were what he is as a person and
Yeah.
what he wants to portray, and I always felt that was me too as a rock artist. You know?
Speaking of strange band names, my two brothers played in a punk band in the '80s. The band's name was Puss.
Puss, yes.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
well, it has to be.
Yeah, that's-
Absolutely.
yeah.
There you go.
Oh.
That's a good one.
Anyhow, you brought some music with you. We want to play a song that you guys did called Julius Caesar first. Tell us a little bit about this, how this came about, and is there a backstory to it, et cetera, et cetera.
This is the first song that we completed.
Yeah.
So we
First
got
song that we wrote together.
yeah,
Okay.
and you know, I write the instruments. So
Vinny actually makes the instruments 100%. He plays all of the drums. He plays the guitar. He plays the keyboard. I mean, this guy is jack of all trades, and that's why I fell in love with him and his style. So, you know, the way Julius Caesar came together, he sent me that instrumental, and I was blown away. And immediately, as soon as I'm blown away by a track, the first thing I want to do is just attack it with some lyrics. And I hit him with some lyrics, and we were like, wow, this is crazy. And so that's kind of how Julius came together. Of course, the name Julius Caesar, we all know who that is. And basically, it's all about feeling like in the face of adversity, when you want your closest people to have your back, they end up, you know, turning on you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, let's give it a listen. Okay. Let's make it louder.
Life is a mystery. Everyone making history.
Man, this time is
that?
flying by already.
Is it?
We're 8 minutes in.
Nice.